I'll make a quick introduction. Welcome, Bruno. It's a great pleasure to have you with us. Bruno is the founder of Altrus, and in one of the organizations we looked in the context of our course. It's an organization based in Brazil, and we will learn a lot about it from you, but just to maybe just to a quick mention, it's an organization that is a bit different from all the others that we looked at, in the sense that it's not per se a philanthropic organization, but is rather more like a quarterback organization that tries to distribute and connect philanthropic organizations with other partners. So it's a great pleasure to have you with us. Bruno, we look so much forward to learn from your personal story. But before letting you start, I let Joost make the formal introduction as usual. Welcome to our class.
Okay, thank you so much, Bruno, for joining us.
You're welcome, guys.
Kind of an atypical profile in our class, so we're very happy. Also considering your personal motivations in your work. Very few lines about you. So you worked in a previous life, so to speak, as a creative director for a number of major agencies during 10 years, companies such as Unilever, MasterCard, Mondelez, Diageo, and others. At the age of 30, something really happened, and you will talk more about it. You had a stroke, and that sort of changed your life perspective, and you decided to leave advertising to make a dream come true, namely to develop a social network to foster the culture of digital donations and altruism in Brazil, and potentially later in the world. So with that very short sort of introduction, I'll leave it to you, and I'm very curious to hear more. And thanks again for sharing not only your life story, but your insights into philanthropy in Brazil.
Okay, guys. Hello, everybody. I just selected a film, a movie that is very short, just to get the feeling. Actually, this video is in Indian, but you will get the feeling of the reasons that I'm playing. All right, let's start.
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลยไม่ได้รวยขึ้นไม่ได้ออกทีวีไม่มีใครรู้จักไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรัก ได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิม ในชีวิตคุณ อะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
Okay, guys, so let's start the agenda. First of all, I'm going to say who am I. After then, I'm going to stop talking about geographic region in Brazil, a key situation and key issues for doing philanthropy and giving, and then the cases. So let's talk about me. The introduction there already did it, but I studied graduate market at University in Bimorumbi, and I did English as second language at Santa Monica College in California, working for agents as creative director, developing 360 projects with different various segments. So at age my 30s, after a stroke, I decided to quit the advertise and focus and to working to foster the Altrus. Okay, so let's talk about Brazil. Brazil is the largest country in South America, sorry, and 15 the world in terms of area. With a conditional proportion, it extends over the area of 8,015,054 kilometers. To the north is the cut by the equator, while the south is from the Tropic of Capricorn. We also living in the, according 2010 census is the searching here. The population was formed by the interaction between Europe and Africa. So we had a lot of immigration, like German, Italian, Spanish, Japanese, and others. So it's people here in Brazil. Let's talk about the situation of philanthropy here. People in Brazil continue to donate money at the same pace into 2017. 7 out each, then 7% we donate money in the last months. Actually, the most is for churches and religious organizations. Is the more common here in Brazil. The people give money to churches and this kind of organization, religious organizations. Okay, the most popular occasions remain the same as the last year. Approximately half of donors, 52%, support religions, organizations, church, as I said. Okay, typical amount donated, the median or sponsored by the last month was 200 reais, which in dollars, it's like $50 by donators in the last year, each person, all right? So cash donate is the most common method here. The transitions of, how I say, digital transition, Brazil is starting to grow up, but the most common here is donation about money, all right? The main reason of Brazilians donate for churches or an NGO is because they think it makes feel well when they given. Is the most common reason that the half of people here they give money, all right? So consider this the last result of the research. More than half of people, 53%, work volunteer in the last year. So they did some volunteer at some NGO. Of the interviewers believe the impact of the organization's NGO in Brazil is positive for the community, for the Brazil, the whole thing. The one reason to give money to donate is the most factor in the search was cited is to have money is one of the question to give them. So I'm just roughly developed.
The United Nations General Assembly was the scene of a celebration in 2015, when 193 member countries adopted the Sustainable Development Goals, a unanimous commitment to end poverty, fight inequality, and tackle climate change.
We need action from everyone, everywhere. 17 Sustainable Development Goals are our guide. They are a to-do list for people and planet, and the blueprint for success.
The SDGs are an agenda to balance human prosperity with protecting the planet.
Imagine there's no countries.
UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador Shakira asked global leaders to imagine a world where we achieve the goals by 2030. While fellow UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador Angelique Kidjo underscored a focus on Africa and developing countries. But the universal agenda is important to all nations, as leaders from developed countries also pledged to make the goals a reality.
Poverty, growing inequality exists in all of our nations, and all of our nations have work to do, and that includes here in the United States. And that's why today I am committing the United States to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals.
The Sustainable Development Goals build on the success of another 15-year plan. Created in the year 2000, the Millennium Development Goals sunset at the end of 2015. The MDGs halved extreme poverty, achieved equal primary education for girls and boys, and dropped HIV infection by 40%, among many successes. The SDGs go beyond the MDGs by improving the lives of everyone, everywhere, and create a better world for future generations.
Today, we are 193 young people representing billions more.
The youngest Nobel Peace Laureate, Malala, calls on world leaders to keep their promise to every child.
Each lantern we hold represents the hope we have for our future because of the commitments you have made to the global goals.
And Pope Francis advised world leaders to put humanity and the environment over politics.
Los gobernantes han de hacer todo lo posible a fin de que todos puedan tener la mínima base material y espiritual para ejercer su dignidad y para formar y mantener una familia.
193 nations unanimously committed to the Sustainable Development Goals.
It is so decided.
But the journey starts here. Now's the time to take global action for local results and move our people and planet towards a sustainable future.
All right. So this is just to brief. I believe that everybody knows about the SDGs and the global goals. So here is how to work SDGs is developed in Brazil. How Altrus actually is work. Let's start from the beginning about telling about me. I used to work with advertising. Was a creative director of a huge agency here in Brazil. And after a stroke, I decided to quit and to launch my startup, Altrus, which connects the donors and NGOs which need help. How this works? Actually, we're going back in 2012. I was in vacation in Italy and Florence. And during my vacation, I got a very strong headache. And then I just fallen down. I had an aneurysm and I spent there 3 months in a coma, did 3 surgeries, and I come back to Brazil in a wheelchair. I couldn't be able to talk, to walk, and even to talk. So during my rehab, I start to think, how can I promote the NGOs and connect people who want to help? During my rehab, I used to did this machine. So I have 1 hour during a week to using this machine so I can recover my movements. And each step that I did that machine, I started thinking how I will help the NGOs that need help. So that it's how born Altrus. The idea of Altrus, which is connect people who want to help to initiative NGO needs help. So let's introduce here a video about Altrus.
Esse é o Zeca.
I don't know why this. Sorry, I don't know why I had a video with legenda. Let me see where, I don't know where is.
If not, I can just type it into the chat. No?
You must be very fast.
I don't know what happened. Let me just, I'm gonna put in the video without the subtitles, and then I will explain. Okay, guys?
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Esse é o Zeca. O Zeca é um cara super alto astral e de bem com a vida. Leva sua rotina do dia a dia com bom humor, adora seu trabalho e não deixa de praticar esportes. Mas ele também gostaria de fazer alguma coisa para ajudar o próximo. Só que no meio da correria do dia a dia não consegue encontrar uma causa nem checar qual iniciativa social é confiável. O Zeca quer ajudar, só não sabe como. Se você se identificou com o Zeca, nós podemos ajudar. Apresentamos a Altrus. A Altrus é uma startup de tecnologia social que conecta voluntários altruístas como você a causas que precisam de ajuda. Quer saber como funciona? Você acessa www.altrus.com.br e faz o cadastro na seção Torne-se um altruísta. Você vai ter acesso a diversas causas, certificadas previamente pelo nosso time, e vai poder ajudar com tempo, doação de produtos e de dinheiro. Além de ajudar, você também vai poder acompanhar os resultados das ajudas e compartilhar suas causas favoritas com seus amigos pelas suas redes sociais. O Zeca, por exemplo, entrou na página da Altrus e conheceu causas inspiradoras e descobriu que poderia ajudar repassando seus conhecimentos de espanhol para crianças de um abrigo. Tem um monte de gente legal entrando nessa aventura de ajudar a ajudar. Olha só.
Oi, eu apoio a Altrus porque eu sou sempre a favor da solidariedade. Eu acredito nesse caminho. A Altrus, ela promove o encontro de doadores com quem precisa de doação. E tudo de uma forma muito transparente. Dá uma olhadinha no site, procure se informar melhor. Eu espero que você se interesse. É isso aí, valeu!
Altrus.
So this is Altrus. I don't know what happened. I put it subtitles, but the video wasn't able to. I don't know what happened, but the main idea, the Altrus, what we did, the video, what is saying, we connect persons and donors, people that who wants to help, that initiatives and NGO needs help us. Okay, so actually, you go to altrus.com.br, and then what happened here? What's going on? Okay. So every 1st December, which was last week, we did a campaign here in Brazil, which called Dia de Doar. Is after the Friday, Black Friday, we have the Thanksgiving, the Tuesday Thanksgiving. Here in Brazil, we call Dia de Doar, which it's a campaign with all around the Brazil, all the cities, to improve and motivate people to donate, to become a donator. All right. I just brought the results of the last edition, which was 2019. We got 1 million reais, which is almost $500 million. We got 2 million reais for projects donators, and we reached 42 million people with this campaign, the last edition. We have more than 100 stories of storytellings about how the people we connect the peoples with donors and NGOs. 2 million reais in donation online. The average ticket was 75 reais to each person, to each donation, and more than 31 storytelling of the donators. More than 6 new campaigns, community campaigns, and over 28 million people reached by social medias. Right now, I'm going to introduce to you guys 2 cases here in Brazil that NGOs, Altrus help. I'm going to play here. Let me see. If you see, you guys tell me if you're seeing, because this video is on YouTube.
Oh, so far we still see your PowerPoint.
You guys see? No.
No, we just see the PowerPoint. You need to share a separate screen.
Let me see. Let me just wait. Let me introduce the. So, okay, the first NGO I will introduce, it's we call Victorias pela Vida. Is an NGO that support people that lives in street homeless, in situation with very bad situation. Now you're seeing, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me. The audio is okay?
Yes.
I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go. and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
La luce che tu dai,
I pray we find your light
nel cuore resterà,
and hold it in us.
a ricordarci che
When stars run out in night,
eterna e stella sei. Nella mia preghiera,
let this be our prayer.
quanta fede c'è.
When shadows
Lead us to a place,
hide us with your grace. Give us
place
space
of we'll be safe. Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza. Ognuno mira mano a suo vicino, simbolo di pace, di fraternità. La forza che ci dà
we ask that life be kind
il desiderio che
and watch us from above.
ognuno trovi amor
We confess all our faith.
intorno e dentro sé. Le dis-
Oh gosh.
Push play again.
So I'm just gonna. So this is one of the NGOs that Altrus supports, which developed in the situation of homeless people living in the street. The second one I will show you, it's another NGO, which is it's about 5 girls that they given a party to children which live in vulnerable situation, given a happy birthday party to these children live in the street in this kind of situation. Just let me see how I will. Are you guys seeing?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Push
perfect.
play.
Yeah, it's okay?
Yes.
Okay.
O projeto Parabéns nasceu em abril de 2016, do desejo de 5 mulheres de criar um projeto social que trouxesse alegria para crianças e adolescentes em situação de vulnerabilidade social.
E teve uma inspiração também de um projeto norte-americano, que é o Happy Birthday Project.
E a gente lembrou o quanto era importante para nós, na nossa infância, criar memórias afetivas através de festas de aniversário.
Então, em alguns alguns momentos eu fico até emocionada de ouvir essas histórias, de saber que a gente toca o coração das pessoas para que elas levem essa atitude solidária, essa atitude coletiva, porque a gente não faz nada sozinho, né?
A gente acha assim que a gente impacta e que com certeza a gente traz muita alegria, então a gente criou uma rede do bem.
So I just brought these two cases. Here is our website, altrus.com.br.
We don't see the website. We're still on the YouTube video.
Wait a second. Nope. What's going on?
Bom, pessoal, parece que eu voltei aqui, né? Confirme aí no chat se estão me ouvindo.
Oh, gosh. Just let me back to the presentation. Okay.
I wonder if they have your slogan before or after the pandemic.
Bruno, when was this NGO created? Before or after the pandemic?
Sorry?
When was this organization created with the virus in the name? Was it before the COVID or?
Before.
Then it was bad luck with
Alô, estão ouvindo aí, pessoal?
But at least
Let me just...
something nice when you think of virus.
Mudo. Vamos ver se aqui se tem alguma coisa.
Okay, so the case one was that I presented was the Victorias pela Vida, which is an NGO that helps people live in the street, homeless. And the case two was a project that was inspired by the Happy Birthday Project in the United States, which it is to develop parties, happy birthday parties to people living, to children and young people living in the street. Okay?
Eu vou mudar a tela aqui, pessoal. Vou mudar aqui o slide do objetivo para o roteiro. Aí quando vocês virem essa mudança, por favor, avisem no chat aqui, por gentileza.
I don't know what. No. So you guys seen the?
We see a blank screen, but we hear an audio. It sounds like a tutorial playing in the background.
I don't know what's going on. Just let me.
But Bruno, just a question in the meanwhile. So the two examples that you showed us, the two cases.
Sorry. So we got the two cases I brought to you guys. The case of the NGO helps homeless, and the second one it was the Happy Birthday Project. Here's our website. So that's it, guys. That's all I brought to you guys. I don't know if you guys had some questions. Just gonna... So it's okay.
It's great, Bruno. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
No, you're welcome. I will just need. I will maybe ask you guys if I can take a picture. So if everybody can open the camera so we can take a picture.
Oh, people with masks.
I mean, well, the people at home don't have masks if they're not in the library.
All right, let me see. Okay, 3, 2, 1. A smile. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Bruno. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
for sharing your presentation and your works with us. We are going to learn even more about Altrus when our group of students who is doing their report on Altrus will present in 2 weeks' time. And before letting you go, I think there are some questions from us. Jos, you were asking something, so you want to break the ice with questions?
Bruno, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I was just, you showed us 2 examples of projects that are supported by Altrus. That's correct?
Yeah.
And why these 2 projects in particular? How do you choose your projects?
Sorry, what?
How do you choose the projects? Why did you choose these 2
Oh,
projects?
yeah. Actually, to the NGO participate in Altrus, we had a very, how can I say? Are you guys?
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me? No, because I'm listening to someone talk. I don't know what.
I think you may still have a YouTube video running on your computer, Bruno. You may want to check your browser.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. Are you guys listening?
Yes, we can hear you. Carry on.
Okay. So, what's going on? There's something I don't know.
You close your Firefox, sorry, you have a...
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let me... Oh, fuck, yeah, that's it. All right, sorry. I don't know, something's will start to play on my website. So right now, so answer the question about how we selected the NGO to be a part of Altrus. First of all, we had to draw a very, how can I say in English, a very particular points to ask and answers to the NGO, because here in Brazil we had a kind of problems with NGOs. Some NGOs just born to, how can I say, raise money for the rich people. And so we start to build a criterious process and steps to being a part. So first of all, we checked all the documents of the NGO, if they are available to being a part of Altrus. And then each 3 months, the NGO needs to report us what they did with the money that we connect, so we can segregate for our donors that help us really helping and they using a correct way the money for the correct ways. So I think this is the first thing we did to. So if the NGO is everything's okay with the documents, the applications, they will be able to be a part of the platform and use our resource to get monies. All right. I don't know if you have any more questions.
Just to carry on I think in the first video, there was that like a celebrity, the guy handing out these gifts? Was he a famous person?
Yeah, he's one of the actually he's a friend of mine, and when we start the Altrus, we have to choose and ask for help for people that had a rich, how can I say? The Reinaldo Giannichini was one of the huge celebrities here in Brazil. He's an actor and he's a friend of mine. So when he knew about Altrus and my story, and said, Bruno, let me help you. So he was very important from the beginning because we didn't have money to do advertising on publishing. So we start to be in contact with the persons that could give a voice to Altrus. So he was one of our majors, could be seen, for to be a part of Altrus.
Thanks. I think Vinicius, you have a question?
Yeah, I actually wanted to build on the previous question about registering a foundation or organization. And I already asked Bruno this. My grandma is in a retirement home in Brazil, and they also asked for donations and such. And I sent them the link to register on Altrus, but nobody's really tech savvy to do it at the retirement home. I was wondering if I could register it, and then from there, Altrus reaches out to them, if that's a possibility.
Yeah, this possibility, actually, for the register, we need some documents and information that I think it won't be able to you Vinicius, to have. So that's why we say the owner of the person that represents the NGO, the one that you start the application, because we need the information like a social number register from the city, and a lot of documents that I think you won't have this information. So when it's kind of common that someone wants to introduce an NGO to Altrus, but they don't have how to do the application. So in case of this, what the thing we ask for the person which want to introduce the NGO, it's give us the phone number, the telephone for the person which is the represent, that we do a contact, and we call and we introduce you to send an email or WhatsApp or whatever. So it's also another way to get in contact.
Perfect. Thank you.
So if you want to put this NGO, just send me the telephone or email the person represent, so we can contact them and invite them to be a part of Altrus.
Perfect. And the last questions is, I saw the minimum donation you can do is of 30 reais, which would be 5 francs, basically.
Yeah.
And can you do that donation, let's say on an international credit card? Like, you don't need to be in Brazil to donate?
Yeah, actually, for the next minimum product viable, in 2 months we will launch the new version of Altrus, and the people from outside Brazil, international, we will be able to donate. Right now, in this version, it won't be possible because we are using our partner. They developed the technology to do this, but I think in 2 months it will be able to person without a Brazilian credit card or CPF, which it is our social security, it will be able to donate. But I think in 2 months will be ready to you guys.
Perfect. Thank you, Bruno.
You're welcome. I don't know. I don't know if you will work as I was the last one. So now the student will study and everything, and then we will have another class with the Q&As and talking about. It will be the same, you know?
So can you repeat? I didn't understand your question, Bruno.
The last class we did the class, and then there was another class with the student so they can prepare questions so I can answer. So I'm just asking if you will be the same with this class.
Well, we have a full class, but students, especially, I think it's Vinicius and his team. Sorry if I label it after you. They will be presenting a report on Altrus in 2 weeks' time. You're most welcome to join if you would like, Bruno. I can share. I can share the link. So Vinicius and team, the pressure is on. But yeah, and I'm sure if they have more questions, they will be the ones responsible for asking you. So
okay.
360 degrees picture on Altrus.
Okay, perfect, Joseph.
You could take them now if you can stay with us, and otherwise, don't worry. We are already super thankful that you could present to us today.
Oh, thank you guys. If you need some help, and I'm here. Just let me know. Vinicius had my all contacts. We also had a WhatsApp group, so I think you could tell something what you're doing here in Brazil and help you guys to encourage your students. Okay?
We have time for one question here from the classroom.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What do you think is one of the strengths of Brazilian philanthropy? Because we talk a lot about what needs to improve, but are there things that you think are very good?
Sorry, the question was cut by the internet. I don't know.
Yeah, she's asking, what are the strengths of Brazilian philanthropy? What are the good aspects of it?
Yeah, I think the strength is I think it's here in Brazil we are a very huge country, so the sociable problems it's a very common. So I think this is one of the power of the people, which it is to look at for the audience. The altruism here is so present. We born seeing our grandmas and our parents helping people on the street, so it's very common here to help another persons. But one particular thing is because we are starting right now to give money with digital money, could be said, because outside of Brazil, international organization, it's very common to receiving money by website or digital transitionals. But here in Brazil, for the NGO, it's so expensive to build a website and put some structure to receive this money. So I think that the power things here is the Brazilian born altruism, and what we are trying to do is to develop technology, so helping the NGOs to get this and receive this money. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Can I ask a follow-up question, Bruno?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so you talked a bit about how you include NGOs. Can you talk about how you attract donors? Like what Altrus does to become
yeah. Actually, the word of mouth is it's our, how can I say, our biggest way to find donors, because one tell to another one, and the NGO says about all right, guys, and for the volunteers right now we are in the Altrus, and we want you guys to donate by this link or website, but actually with the most we use in the social media, Facebook and Instagram, to find the donors, and also the companies. One thing that no one can ask, but I think one question, guys, say how we earn money, because we also have to pay bills, and how we create Altrus, which is www.altrus.com.pr, and we have developed the white label for companies. So we are, right now, we are talking with Johnson & Johnson's. They want to have their own platform to the NGOs who wants to help. So it's altrus.com.pr/Johnson & Johnson. So Johnson use my platform to input the NGOs that he wants to help, and then he send this link for all the clients and partners, stakeholders, and to be done. So this one, the companies, it's our voice to donors, and also all web social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, and what else?
Yeah, maybe to carry on that question, maybe because we spoken last week and you attended our class also, you saw the discussion.
Yeah.
And with Brian was very interesting. It's very good that we pursue this with you. Politically, and of course it depends on who is in power in Brazil, and that will probably change soon. What's the environment, the political environment for philanthropy today? Is it favorable? How do you see it evolve?
Actually, the political environment here in Brazil, it's right now in the moment is top. But our president just blocked all the initiatives that giving monies for the NGOs. Right now, most of them they lost this money because the government just stopping to give money to NGOs helping, and basically the NGOs right now they're surviving with the physical donors and volunteers, because right now the government they just block all the initiatives. Like we used to the companies used to could be debit the taxes and use the taxes of the companies to don these monies, but right now is blocked because the government just stopped to use this. I don't know if I answer your question, Josh.
No, absolutely. So there was a law before which tax deduction, and that has been taken away with the government.
Yeah, sure.
Very antisocial government, it seems. That's a different discussion.
Yeah, it's another this topic we had another classes, because here in Brazil we passing through this. It's very.
Maybe Bruno, if I can, since we connected back to last week class, we learned during especially Brian's presentation about some indigenous traditions or origins, like of when we veer, and we know also in Brazil there is a huge indigenous culture. Are there some traces in terms of the way people try to live together and have what could be maybe the equivalent of when we veer in Brazil? There's some traditions that come from the natives, and that you know and you could share with us.
Share what? Sorry.
Any traditions doing that are particular and maybe even shared with the natives in Brazil of doing philanthropy or anyway of living pro-socially together and helping each other?
Yeah, I actually think the doing philanthropy here in Brazil, the first way that to introduce someone to start doing philanthropy in Brazil is most common is to give them food for persons who live in the street. Is this the first way to the person who needs to help them? The first case is let me find some NGO helps to the person which live in the streets and help them with food. I think is the most common, the first way to introduce this person. The philanthropic way is to give them food for the person, because here we had it's very common you see person living in the street without food and asking for their food. So I'm born seeing my grandma and my mom to giving food for homeless. So I think this is the first contact for start to doing philanthropy here in Brazil is to develop giving food for who they need.
Thank you. Are there any more questions? If not, Bruno, thank you so much for sharing this. Oh, Vinicius, you have a question?
Yes, I had one last question, and it's regarding tax breaks. I saw that in Brazil, you can get 3% or you can give 3% of your taxes to an organization as donation. And I was wondering, when you donate in Altrus, you get a receipt sort of that you can declare on your taxes?
Yeah, you can have a receipt, so you can debit for instance for the government. Say, all right, I did this donation by Altrus and I want to dedicate for the another NGO. So this is possible. We give a kind of receipt so they can dedicate.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Bruno, for sharing your experience.
Thank you, Josep, for inviting me, and I can share you guys.
Have a great day, and see you then in 2 weeks. We'll send you a reminder for the presentation.
Okay, perfect. See you guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day, great week.
Thank you so much. So that we let Bruno go, and before closing, if there are any questions regarding the assignments or the class, we have a few minutes or some minutes left if you want to discuss something. Bruno, you can go. You're free to go anytime you want. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
Are there any questions regarding to the course? Any need for feedback or help in your project?
Just a question on the deadline. We saw the syllabus, but some people in the group were confused. The paper is due on the 13th and the presentation on the 20th.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I updated, I think it was the syllabus had the wrong date, or Moodle, one of the two had the wrong date, but I updated it last week. I hope there is all fixed now.
Okay, so 13th paper.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
And then
so the last session. So next week we'll finish our trip with India. We have one session on India next week, correct? And then the last week, the 5 groups will be asked to present their papers or their work. How much time is that allocated for that, for the presentations each?
So it's 90 divided by 5. So for
about 15.
15 minutes.
15 minutes each, yeah, maximum.
12 to 15.
And you have also guidelines on the syllabus. Please try to divide as equally as possible labor, meaning each member presents roughly 3-4 minutes. And yeah.
Do we want to encourage people to come in person?
Exactly. If you can come in person, it's better. It's easier to handle. And if not, we are used to co-model. So feel free to also juggle between Zoom and in person. Myself, I'm going to be in Zoom as well to make sure that no one is cheating from Zoom. I'll be on the Zoom cloud. Just kidding. And anyway, we look forward to your presentation in 2 weeks' time. But before we have, as you was mentioned, the presentation from Bhavani Rao, who's the director of Amachi Labs in India.
It might be good if they send their presentations by email ahead of time,
Right, so
like the day before.
you can upload it on Moodle or send via email. Fantastic. You could upload it before we create.
Or you can open like you did for the first presentation, like a Moodle, or you can.
Yeah, there should be already a Moodle, if not, I'll create. Or yours can try to create. So let's second generation.
And the last point you made this morning, you want to repeat it about the evaluation?
Correct. Thanks for reminding. So if you haven't done so, there are the evaluations open. It's great to get feedback, to learn and how we can improve the course to make it more interesting, more attractive, or also to know what you particularly like so we can build on that. You should have received the link a couple of weeks ago for the evaluations. It would be great to hear what you think. Any comments or questions from your end? Okay, then for once we're finishing ahead of time. The professors coming next will be very happy to see us gone by then. And thank you so much for staying with us, and see you then next week.
Thank you. Goodbye.